Hi, it's Nicola, and today I have a case study for you. It's a hang glider star penning the memoir The Phoenix Rising about traumatic brain injury and survival. Today's show is sponsored by the Your Family Stories system, and I'll have more details about some free sections to that coming up. But welcome if you're new. Forever Young Autobiographies is the place to learn how to write life stories for family and friends. And I'd be really thankful if you could follow, subscribe and like the show. So Helen Ross Lee is living proof that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. In 2008, the former high-achieving female hang glider competitive pilot suffered a traumatic brain injury. The sportswoman, mother and nurse's life was changed, and over the past 12 years she has learnt to think again, to talk again, to walk again, plus she has found love again. So during this process, it has been enormously hard for Helen, but one of the really great rewards to come out of all of this is her memoir, The Phoenix Rising. Now, during the writing of this, Helen says she learnt the art of survival, and she says it's really, really hard. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this book and Helen's amazing, extraordinary journey. So to start out, we might give a little bit of background about how Helen came to the idea of writing this memoir. And she says it was back in 2012 when she was visiting some long-standing friends in Victoria, Australia. And one of them hadn't realised what Helen had been through. So they explained to this man, and then the three said, "Look, Helen, you really should write a book about this." So she had some confidence. She said she did well at school for her English subjects in her final year. And also she'd written a book, funnily enough, in year 6. Her teacher set the assignment of writing a book, and Helen did that with the assistance of her mum, typing it up for her. So she did have that groundwork, and then she had the support of her mum, her 2 sisters and her friends who thought that writing would be a really good thing for her to fill in her empty days, as she says. But she didn't think any of them would think that now she would be a published author. So great to have that foundation of support there to begin the project. Moving on to the writing of the book. So Helen said she started drafting the book, the memoir, in 2013. And it wasn't until she got to 2016 that she decided to self-publish. And this is the encouragement of a Sydney businessman and therapist who she'd gotten to know. And this self-published version of the book got some really good reviews. But Helen said she submitted it to get an assessment for traditional publishing and was advised to get it professionally edited, which she did with a team down in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. And she did this by long distance, and it took about a year. So well done, Helen, getting to this point. There were, of course, some challenges, some ups and downs to this whole process. She said the number one biggest hardship was finding a publisher that understood the complexities of neuroplasticity. She tried Australian publishers for about a year, but then came across the publishers in the United States, Loving Healing Press, and she signed a contract with them in 2019. So fantastic there. The great rewards to come out of this process, she says, was getting people to realise, to understand that what she was going through was true. 100% validation. This is really important to Helen, and she got some great feedback from her father-in-law and also the director of clinical and hospital services, where she worked at the hospital on the Gold Coast, where she worked in the emergency department. But most importantly, she got the support of Professor Niels Bilboba, who has been studying the brain for 50 years, writing and studying it for 50 years. And he said that this book by Helen is an astounding document. He said it should be a text, a model text for those who have had brain damage and the family of those who have had brain damage and those researching in the field. So just amazing to get that kind of testimony from those really high up in this area. So well done, Helen. To finish up, Helen said the book was really different to most memoirs because she was actually living a lot of it as she was writing. So this was a really turbulent time for her. But now she's finished the book, she's on the trail of promoting the book and spreading its core message, which is the brain is capable of neuroplasticity. It is able to re-network itself. So if you'd like to know more about Helen, her book and her journey, you can head over to her website, which is thephoenixrising.com.au, and you can buy print versions of her book and digital copies of her book. So all the information is right there for you. So there you have it, everybody. That's the life story by Helen Ross Lee. And she's shining a light on the power of the amazing power of the brain's ability to neuroplasticity. So my hope is that by talking about how Helen came up with the idea to write, the actual writing and the publication phases, as well as the challenges and the rewards to come out of this, my hope is that you will harness her determination and her relentlessness against all the odds to get a life story done, to publish. So really fantastic case study today. And if you'd like to know more, get all the links to the books, plus see some photos of the books and of Helen before and today, before her injuries, and today you can go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/thephoenixrising. And I'd love you to leave me a comment. Helen faced enormous challenges to get this book written, and in some small and great ways we all do when we're writing. And I'd love for you to share the challenges that you're facing or have faced. So pop me a comment down below or go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/contact. Earlier I mentioned the Your Family Stories system, which is a system that shows you how to interview a loved one, record their life story and then celebrate it in many different formats. And I've got some free sections for you to try on that just to get a little bit of a taster. You can go to foreveryoungautobiographies.com/free. Again, I'm really thankful if you could follow, subscribe and like the show, because I'll be back again soon with another topic. So until then, happy writing.